2018 October overhaul. This is my 13th vlog. So tomorrow I will have done 2 full weeks of videos. It's cool. To be honest, I'm not really feeling it today. Oh, heat was on. Oh my gosh, turn that off. Sitting in my car. I needed, I have enjoyed making these videos because it makes me take time to myself. It makes me step out and find some quiet and just sit by myself for a second. And that's something that I really have never done for myself, to be honest, never. So it's quite the experience for me to be doing that. And it's my husband does that shit, always, he takes time for himself. He's been doing that always. He's always had that skill. And, I've always been a very codependent person who had a hard time being by herself. I really, I get a lot of anxiety because of that, and that's because, I never really had a connection growing up. I didn't have that, true family connection. And, sometimes it gets a little, frustrating for me because I really respect my husband for, those skills and bringing those things into my life, but I also get really frustrated because I still have that, oh, you can't do things for yourself, that's selfish mindset. So sometimes I get really, resentful and just frustrated, jealous, kind of pissed off, and just yeah, dude, cool, you get to do all that yourself, but, I have to do other things. I have to do everything else. The breastfeeding and the all attention on my son always, and just, feeding the cats, and the little micro things in our life that, that you can't slack those things. You can't just be oh, one day I'm not gonna feed the cats. No, you can't. So I have to get out of bed, and I have to get up, and I have to do these things, and, he gets to keep sleeping, and I have to be considerate of that, and, I want to be considerate and respectful anyway, so I'm in constant practice of, trying to not overstep on him while trying to make space for myself, and being really focused on my son and my life, but trying really hard to be focused on myself, because that's the problem. The fact that I don't take time for myself, I become a raging bitch. I'm horribly mean and unkind and just unhappy, just straight up unhappy. I know it's my own responsibility. That's what this all is me taking responsibility for my excuses and my actions, and, just, transmuting it into the life that I see for myself. But, it is very intense and exhausting process. I have not talked to any of my family members in several months, except for my, youngest brother. literally deleted my Facebook. I have not talked to anybody besides like the like 3 really close people that I, am friends with, that have influenced me. And then the people who I thoroughly enjoy at work. So I'm not, I'm sort of isolating myself in a way because I'm, in my mission to cut out the toxicity from my life, I look around and there's nobody left. There's nothing left here. It's like, I'm lonely. I'm really, really lonely. Always. But that's something I've always dealt with, is the loneliness and the shame. Like, I was sexually molested as a child, so I'm very ashamed of my existence. And, it's very isolating to be like, though I'm with somebody who validates my experience and, tells me it's gonna be okay and I can take my time to get through this, it's still like, you don't understand. You don't really understand. It's really hard to find somebody who really gets you on a level because you have literally been isolated from society. Because when something like that happens as a child, you don't get to function as a normal human being. You don't get to just be like, oh yeah, now I'm an adult and everything's fine because that never happened. No, your whole existence is off. Is completely off. Like, sorry. It's like I took a step to the side and I could never get my footing ever again. So I'm always like limping. Just because my leg never fully grew, because I didn't get to experience that. I didn't have a childhood. I was the oldest out of 5 kids, and I was being molested by my brother, and the whole house was completely messed up. Everything was messed up. It was not a healthy, normal childhood for anybody. And, I was the oldest, so I have a lot of shame and guilt about that because I'm supposed to be the example, and now all I have is my youngest brother. And he is 17 now. I'm 24. There's not many years there, but he's the only one who, fully supports me and my story, but also, like, he doesn't understand because he didn't go through that, because, like, we were all beat and physically abused, but, I took the brunt of the sexual abuse. And one of my sisters also did, but, she is in full denial of that, and my family 100% has told me that, like, there is 2 sides of the story, and your side is not the only story. To which I say, go ahead and ask him. Go ahead. Ask him what happened. Ask him. Tell me what he says. I would love to know, because guess what? He knows what happened. And just because you refuse to talk to him about it does not mean he does not fucking know. Because he knows. And everybody else has heard me talk about it. So it's like, to be told you're crazy and you're wrong and you're not validated every single day of your life when you know something horrible happened, but you cannot feel like you can get over it because it didn't exist. It didn't happen the way you thought it did. Well, I don't care how young I was. I know what happened. Things that were inappropriate for a child to be doing. That's it. It does not matter the logistics of it, what actually happened. It does not matter. It comes down to the fact that that is not okay to happen to a child. And, I refuse to let that shit continue on in my life. I refuse to let it. I won't let that go down in another cycle of, generation. But it's still very isolating. It's very lonely experience. I've talked to a lot of people. I've sought out, to be understood, but I'm young. I've done stupid stuff. I've been, trying to just have fun and live my life up until my son and going to school, which was just like last year. So, I'm just desperately trying to be happy with myself. And, it's like impossible to find any peace over it. Like, yeah, I can meditate and I can do yoga to take the physical stress out of my body, but, it's just like, dude, what do you do? My only solution is to do ayahuasca and deep heal my soul. Like, what do you do to fix that? I don't know. I've been trying my entire life to figure it out. It's just like, to be told that you're just unattractive because of your trauma. What do you do about that? Like, I can't erase that. I wish I could. Truly, I do. But, like, I can't make it just disappear. And I can't make myself automatically turn the page and flip it. And I'm working really hard to get there, but it's not an automatic process. And it just gets really frustrating because, I've been working on this for years. And it's a very slow, painful process. I'm just so ashamed of my existence. But I know I'm supposed to talk about it, and I know I'm supposed to share my story because I know somebody will find support. I know somebody will relate, and what it comes down to is I am here for you just as much as anybody is here for me. I will be here for you. If you have gone through something like that as a child, reach out to me and we can talk through it because I know how hard it is. I know how deep it goes. And I understand where you're coming from. And you're not crazy. And you are okay. And you will heal. I'm sorry this is a heavy video, guys. If you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be really open and honest with myself and the world, and I just, I have a lot to say. There's a lot of things that go on in my head, I'm very very aware of pedophilia, and I'm very aware of childhood abuse, and I'm very aware that this needs to stop. That we cannot allow the world to sexualize our babies. They are babies. And I refuse to continue the sexualization of children. And it will be talked about. I will not let this go down, you know? It's just a very difficult experience to go through life knowing that everything you've ever known is wrong. It's just completely wrong. But wrong in a way of being sick. Of being really, really messed up and ill. It's wrong. But so, you know, October overhaul is me gutting myself from the inside, you know, and we're just halfway there. It's, yeah, not even halfway. It's been super intense because the purging process of releasing all of this, but in a constructive, creative way that does not, you know, cause further detriment to my psyche, which is exactly what I've been doing for a long time, you know, just eating bad food. To be honest, I did just eat a whole pack of M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, but, you know, like, drinking and shit and just trying to waste away the pain does not work. It does not work. And, you know, I'm just trying to be okay with myself. I do love myself. I do think I'm a rad human being. I feel awesome. I just, you know, I just have yucky stuff I have to get out first, and I have to get it out of my heart and soul and out of my physical body so I can move on and step into the fullness of life that I know is there. It's just a very long, hard process, but I'm still fully committed. I'm still, I'm all in. I'm going for it. You know, if you've been watching and following, every day has been different. Every single day has been different. I mean, you know, ups and downs, and I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad. But the commitment to myself is what is most important here. And if anybody takes anything else from these videos, stay committed to your process and your growth, because it will turn out okay. As long as you show that you care about yourself enough to continue on, even though things get really hard, if you continue on, you will find the love within yourself that has always been there. You know, and I just want to finish, end this by saying, you know, if anybody has gone through a similar experience of childhood trauma or sexual abuse, physical abuse, I'm here for you. Please reach out to me because I am here for you. And if you just want to talk about it, if you just want to FaceTime and cry, if you need to call me, girl, boy, dude, guys, I'll give you my number. Let's talk it out, dude, because this shit needs to get out. It needs to be open. You need to be validated. You deserve to have your voice heard. And I'm here to hear you. Just so you know, I love you all. I'm so grateful for the journey. And I'm so grateful for anybody sharing this with me. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. It's a very heavy topic video today. I apologize for the weight of it all, but I feel much better. So thank you for your patience and continuing on with me through this. See you guys tomorrow.